Welcome back to the channel, World Coins Master, where today we dive deep into one of the most fascinating and mysterious coins in US numismatic history. If you're passionate about coin collecting, rare finds, and unbelievable value increases, then you're in for a treat. In this video, we'll explore the incredible story behind the 1967 one-dime coin from the United States, a coin that has been reported to be worth as much as $15 million due to a combination of rare minting errors, historical anomalies, and unique attributes that continue to puzzle experts and excite collectors around the world. The 1967 Roosevelt dime might seem like an ordinary coin at first glance. Most people wouldn't even give it a second look if they found it in their pocket change. But as is often the case with rare coins, the true value lies not in its face value but in the hidden features, the mistakes, the variations, and the tiny clues that separate a 1 in a billion coin from the countless others struck in the same year. Today's story revolves around one such extraordinary coin, and by the end of this video, you'll understand why the 1967 one dime is regarded as one of the most valuable coins ever discovered. The year 1967 was a significant time in American history, both politically and economically. It was a transitional period for U.S. coinage, especially in the wake of the Coinage Act of 1965, which had removed silver from the dime and quarter and shifted the composition of these coins to a clad format consisting of copper and nickel. This shift in materials, combined with increased production demands and the phasing out of mint marks for a brief period, created the perfect storm for mistakes to occur. Mistakes that would go unnoticed by most but stand out like a beacon to trained collectors and numismatists. It's important to understand the historical context in which this coin was minted. From 1965 through 1967, the U.S. Mint made a strategic decision to exclude mint marks on coins in an effort to reduce coin collecting activity. This decision was largely driven by a shortage of coins in circulation, which some believed was caused by collectors pulling coins out of the system. By eliminating mint marks, the mint hoped to remove the incentive to hoard coins based on their mint of origin. As a result, all coins minted during this 3-year period, including the 1967 dime, were officially struck without a mint mark. However, what makes the 1967 one dime so compelling is that several rare examples have surfaced over the years that challenge this policy. Some specimens have been found with what appears to be an accidental or anomalous mint mark, a feature that simply shouldn't exist on a coin from this year. These unusual findings have ignited debates within the numismatic community and driven speculation that either a rogue die was used in error or that transitional dies from other years or mints were mistakenly employed during production. The possibility of a 1967 dime bearing a mint mark is incredibly rare and controversial. There are theories that a die from a previous year was reused or that an experimental piece made it into circulation by accident. These types of anomalies are what drive the coin's astronomical value. If a mint mark was never meant to appear, then any coin from 1967 that bears one would be an unmistakable error, a minting mistake of the highest order, and a piece of American coinage history that defies standard classification. But the mint mark issue is only one part of the puzzle. Other extraordinary errors found on certain 1967 dimes include double die obverse, off-center strikes, broad strikes, and even wrong planchet errors, coins that were mistakenly struck on a blank intended for a different denomination or foreign coin. Each of these anomalies alone can increase the value of a coin significantly, but when they occur in conjunction or on a coin as historically significant as one from 1967, their value can skyrocket into the millions. Collectors and experts have also pointed out that certain 1967 dimes exhibit unusual die clashes. Impressions of parts of the design appearing in the wrong areas due to dies striking each other without a planchet in between. This type of error creates ghost-like impressions of design features, like Roosevelt's profile or the torch and olive branch, appearing in unexpected or mirrored positions. These ghost designs are more than just curious. They're clear evidence of misalignment and mechanical issues during production, which further support the case that these coins are far from ordinary. Perhaps most fascinating is the possibility that some of these errors were never meant to be seen by the public at all. In rare cases, mints strike test pieces or transitional coins that are supposed to be destroyed before ever leaving the facility. If any of these test coins from the mid-60s made it into circulation, especially those involving design or metal composition changes, then they would be among the rarest coins ever produced by the U.S. Mint. A 1967 dime on a silver planchet, for example, would be a monumental discovery, since dimes officially stopped using silver after 1964. But mistakes happen, and a leftover silver blank from a prior year could have easily found its way into the minting machinery. The search for these rare coins has become a kind of treasure hunt for numismatists. Stories have circulated about collectors finding strange 1,967 dimes and rolls of coins purchased from banks or inherited from family members. The possibility that such a coin could be hiding in someone's change jar has fueled excitement and curiosity for decades. The idea that an ordinary-looking coin could be worth $15 million is almost unbelievable, yet history has shown time and again that the rarest and most valuable coins often begin life unnoticed, misidentified, or even discarded. Let's not forget the role of condition in determining value. In the world of rare coins, condition is king. A mint state 1967 dime with an error, especially one graded MS65 or higher by a professional grading service, would command a significantly higher price than the same error on a coin in circulated condition. The level of preservation, the luster, the sharpness of the strike, and the visibility of the error all play a role in assessing how valuable a particular specimen might be. And in the rarest of cases, when these features combine with a dramatic error and a backstory rooted in numismatic mystery, you get a coin that is not just rare, but legendary. Another major factor contributing to the coin's value is provenance. If a specific 1967 dime with a unique error has a well-documented history, such as having been part of a famous collection, featured in scholarly journals, or auctioned at a prestigious house, its value can increase exponentially. Collectors are not just buying a piece of metal, they're buying a piece of history, a story, a mystery wrapped in silver and copper. Then there's the psychological component. Rarity creates desire, and desire drives price. When a handful of serious collectors are determined to own the same once-in-a-lifetime coin, the price can reach heights no one anticipated. That's what appears to have happened with the 1967 dime. The confluence of historical oddities, minting anomalies, and collector frenzy has transformed this modest 10-cent piece into a coin that commands millions at auction. Keep watching as we continue to break down exactly which features to look for on your 1967 dimes, how to tell a valuable error from a common coin, and how you might be able to identify one of these ultra-rare pieces in your own collection or spare change. We'll also cover some of the most jaw-dropping auction results, the opinions of top numismatists, and what to do if you think you might have found one. Today's video, we're diving deep into one of the most intriguing stories in the coin collecting community, the incredible and almost unbelievable case of the 1991 P. Roosevelt dime, a coin that some experts and collectors have valued at up to $8 million due to a combination of extremely rare minting errors, unique variations, and mysterious anomalies in the mint mark. While its face value is merely 10 cents, the 1991 P dime has taken the spotlight among numismatists and enthusiasts alike, and by the end of this comprehensive exploration, you'll understand exactly why this tiny piece of American currency has captivated so many. At first glance, the 1991 P dime seems like any ordinary Roosevelt dime that you could find in your change jar, your car's cup holder, or even between the cushions of your living room sofa. It features the standard profile of President Franklin D. Roosevelt on the obverse side, the familiar torch, olive branch, and oak branch on the reverse, and a small P mint mark to the right of Roosevelt's neck, indicating it was minted in Philadelphia. But hidden beneath this ordinary appearance lies a series of astonishing minting errors, inconsistencies, and mysteries that have elevated this coin into legendary status among collectors. What could possibly make a common-looking dime worth millions? The answer lies in a mix of minting mistakes, die varieties, doubling anomalies, planchet defects, and mint mark irregularities that have been confirmed in a handful of these dimes, with some examples exhibiting combinations of multiple flaws that are nearly impossible to replicate. To fully appreciate why the 1991 P dime is so valuable, we need to understand the environment and conditions at the U.S. Mint in the early 1990s. At that time, the Philadelphia Mint was operating under intense demand to produce millions of coins daily. This heavy workload often led to rushed processes, overlooked quality control, and overused die sets, all of which created the perfect storm for errors to slip into circulation. It's within this context that the extraordinary examples of the 1991 P dime were born. One of the primary characteristics of the most valuable 1991 P dimes is a dramatic mis-strike, specifically off-center strikes, where the design elements are clearly misaligned due to improper feeding of the planchet into the coin press. In the most valuable known examples, the strike is so significantly off-center that part of Roosevelt's head is missing, and only a portion of the date, or mint mark, is visible. This creates a visually striking and highly desirable effect for collectors, especially when the error is paired with other unusual features. Another key factor contributing to the extreme value of some 1991p dimes is the presence of doubled dies. Doubled die errors occur when the coin die itself has been struck more than once with a slight shift, causing the design elements to appear doubled on the coins it produces. On the 1991p dime, double die obverse (DDO) errors have been found on Roosevelt's profile, particularly around the eyes, mouth, and neck, as well as on the date and mint mark. The doubling in these cases is often strong enough to be seen without magnification, making it an unmistakable and highly sought-after error. A dime that features both a strong off-center strike and clear doubling is considered an extraordinary find and can fetch hundreds of thousands, or even millions, depending on its condition and uniqueness. Beyond doubled dies, some 1991p dimes have been found with what collectors call repunched mint marks, or RPMs. This means the P mint mark was accidentally punched into the dime more than once, often at slightly different angles or positions. These repunched mint marks can appear blurry, shadowed, or as if a second mint mark is ghosted behind the first. In extreme cases, the RPMs are so dramatic that they are immediately noticeable to the naked eye. RPMs are particularly valuable because they reflect a very specific and identifiable human error in the minting process, one that was corrected in later runs, making early examples incredibly rare. Then there are the planchet errors. A planchet is the blank piece of metal on which a coin is struck, and errors in the planchet can result in missing elements, incomplete rims, or even wrong metal strikes. A few 1991p dimes have surfaced that appear to have been struck on improperly prepared planchets, including ones with lamination peels, where a layer of the metal separates from the surface, as well as examples where the dime was struck on a foreign coin blank or a blank intended for another denomination. These types of errors not only add to the rarity of the coin but also suggest that there were serious quality control lapses at the Philadelphia Mint during that production period. Some of the most fascinating 1991p dime errors involve transitional issues, cases where the coin appears to exhibit features of another year or design. In rare instances, collectors have reported finding 1991p dimes with design elements that seem to belong to earlier or later issues, raising questions about die reuse, mismatched dies, or even intentional manipulation within the mint. While these claims are difficult to authenticate without extensive testing, the possibility of such transitional errors adds another layer of intrigue to the story of the 1991p dime. Let's not forget about the condition of the coin itself. For any coin to reach values in the millions, it must typically be in an exceptional state of preservation, often graded as MS68 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. Mint state coins, especially those with full bands, where the horizontal bands on the torch are fully visible and distinct, are far rarer than circulated examples. Finding a 1991p dime with a dramatic error, in pristine uncirculated condition, with full torch bands and no signs of wear, elevates the coin to an entirely different tier of value. Some examples with multiple errors and high grades have drawn the attention of major auction houses, with valuations soaring into the seven-figure range. But what truly sets the 1991p dime apart in the eyes of collectors and experts is the possibility of a perfect storm error, a coin that combines several major flaws in a single strike. Imagine a dime that is off-center, features a doubled die obverse, a repunched mint mark, a lamination error, and is struck on an incorrect planchet, all while being graded MS69 by a top-tier grading company. Such a coin would be a once-in-a-lifetime find and could easily command $8 million or more in the right auction setting, especially if it were the only known example of its kind. The market dynamics surrounding these coins are also important to understand. As coin collecting continues to gain popularity around the world, particularly through online communities and international auction platforms, the demand for rare error coins has skyrocketed. Collectors are constantly searching for the next great rarity, the kind of coin that defies expectations and pushes the boundaries of what is considered possible in U.S. mint history. The 1991p dime fits this mold perfectly, and as more examples are discovered and authenticated, its story only continues to grow. Social media has also played a massive role in boosting the profile of coins like the 1991p dime. Viral videos, TikTok clips, Instagram Reels, and YouTube shorts showcasing valuable coin finds have inspired a new generation of treasure hunters to check their change, examine old jars, and start collecting. When a coin like the 1991 dime shows up on social media, particularly one that sold for hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars, it sparks a chain reaction of curiosity and excitement, and often drives up the price even further as competition intensifies. Another factor worth noting is the role of provenance. A coin's ownership history, where it was found, who previously owned it, and how it was authenticated, can have a huge impact on its value. If a particular 1991 dime has a well-documented provenance, especially if it was part of a famous collection or discovered under extraordinary circumstances, that background can dramatically enhance its appeal to high-end collectors. Stories of coins found in old safes, inherited collections, or discovered in estate sales for pennies on the dollar only add to the mystique. In recent years, there have been several documented cases of 1991 dimes selling for eye-popping amounts, particularly at well-known auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers. These auctions have attracted global interest, with bidders from multiple continents vying for ownership of these elusive treasures. While most 1991 dimes in circulation are worth only their face value, the few that contain these major errors, anomalies, and pristine conditions are worth their weight in gold, sometimes literally. As the numismatic community continues to study and catalog these coins, new discoveries are being made that further validate the extraordinary nature of the 1991 dime. Experts have identified die markers, known clash points, and other subtle features that can help distinguish genuine multi-error examples from common dimes or artificially altered coins. This level of scrutiny ensures that only authentic, verifiable error coins make it into the elite tier of million-dollar valuations. Collectors and investors alike should be cautious and diligent when examining a 1991 dime. Professional authentication, grading, and provenance documentation are essential when considering any high-value transaction. Fraudulent coins, altered mint marks, or artificially induced errors can sometimes fool inexperienced buyers, which is why working with certified professionals and reputable grading services is critical. Still, the chance of finding one of these rare coins,